designer was the landscape architect Luis González Camino.
This was actually my first project, and I was 21 years old.
So quite a dramatic thing to do for a 21-year-old.
Yeah, it was hard because I was the youngest person in the team. They were all people from maybe 50 and 60 years old, and they had to explain everything I planned here.
Luis's intention was to create a lush, constantly green garden for the bank's employees to enjoy. English ivy was planted at the top so that it could tumble down the sides of the building. And now some of the ivy's tendrils are up to 24 meters long. Outside, the top 2 floors of the bank are planted terraces, filled with tropical plants that are best seen from inside the meeting rooms. And the roof is glazed, enclosing and protecting the plants and creating what is in effect a large greenhouse. The thing that is often talked about is the role of greenery and plants in office spaces. How do people react? What do the workers say?
They are very, very happy, especially when they have a lack of working in this part of the bank. You see that all the meeting rooms are here, so everybody can share this.
The vertical garden was revamped 3 years ago, and Luis, who's since become one of Spain's leading garden designers, returned to oversee the work nearly 50 years after he initially created it. Did you change it in the light of experience?
Somewhat. Not the ivy curtain, but some of the plants here, because of the experience of keeping the garden for many years, I came to the conclusion that there were some plants that weren't very happy here. So I planted different plants now.
Do you think that there is such a thing as a typical Spanish garden?
Yes, I think there is a mixture of the monastic gardens, which were all over Europe, and the Arab garden that the Arabs introduced in Spain when they invaded it. We don't have these huge French or English gardens because the climate in central and southern Spain is not very good for this kind of gardens. But smaller gardens with a lot of architecture and a lot of ponds and water features is very, I think this is very, very Spanish.
I'm heading now to the southern end of Madrid's Green Artery. This is the impressive entrance to Madrid's Atocha station. It was built in 1892, and its outstanding feature is a huge wrought iron train shed. In the 1990s, the back of the station was extended to serve Spain's new high-speed trains. As a result, some of the old platforms were no longer needed. And in an act of huge inspiration, they decided to use this now defunct glass roof space to install a tropical garden. This space is much bigger than any glasshouse could ever be, and the planting amounts to an acre. And because it's been here for 30 years, some of the plants are really colossal. It's like being in a jungle. There are 7,000 plants of more than 200 different species, and all of them seem to be completely happy here in a railway station. And what better place than to sit and wait for your train? However, I'm not leaving Madrid yet, because I've got a couple more gardens that I want to see. So the next morning, I traveled to a residential suburb just to the north of the city. And I've been told that there was a garden here that I would find particularly interesting. It turned out that my hosts were four-legged. Come on. Now, show me the garden. And the designer, Alvaro San Pedro, was given a specific